Hello everybody, this is Katrina. Welcome back, episode 2 of Yarn Armor. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. Got everything ready to go and talk about right here. We have quite a bit to talk about today, and I'm actually set back up in my home, so I'm a little bit more comfortable than I was the last time. What am I wearing today? Well, today, okay, so I'm wearing just a simple scarf, mesh. And I have to tell you the truth, I actually thought I got it from Little John's Yarn, because I bought her entire pattern catalog at the time. Some designers will let you do that, including Sorella. Buy their entire catalog. Both of those for Little John's and Sorella's was purchased on Etsy. So if you want to get a big collection of patterns for a very reasonable price, do that. But I couldn't find it, so I'm not sure if I got this from her video archive, but I'm still saying that to this day that it was Little John Yarn who I got it from. So one of the first things that I want to talk about is my finished object. I actually have a finished object. So last week we discussed the Granny Go Round cardigan, button-up cardigan. And here she is. She's finished. I actually wore this. She got put out. Isn't that lovely? Granny Go Round cardigan by Iron Lamb. And the one that got me started was actually just her regular Granny Go Round cardigan. I think this one went viral. And this is what actually got me on that. This is still the same Twister DK from Ice Yarns. Using and pulling from some of the same colors, except instead of gray, we used white, which gives it a different look. I get lots of compliments on that one. But this is the one that started it. If you check out my Ravelry account, there's one more pattern by her that we'll probably get to real soon using the same DK. I'm going to get rid of all the DK using Iron Lamb's patterns. So that's my only finished object. But I'm very happy because this took a long time to get done. And it's done, and it's actually been worn. Me and my husband went somewhere. Where did we go? Eye doctor. And I wore it there. I really like it. Okay, I actually did start a new pattern, and it's called is it the Riley? It is the, oh, here we go. Where is it? It's called the Everly T-shirt, and it's by Tinderbox. And I have several of her patterns. But here's the thing. So I started it, but I don't think I'm going to, I think we're going to go ahead and frog it, start over. And I don't think it's the pattern. I really like the pattern. I still think it's a good pattern. I think it's the yarn. It calls for Aran weight yarn, which I have. I'm actually using We Crochet's Heatherly, which truthfully is an amazing yarn. Here's some of the blue. It's real pretty. Started with the gray. This is like the third pattern where I've actually tried to use this yarn, and I don't know. I think the main thing is that it's not necessarily the colors that I would normally use for myself, and this would be something that I would wear. So I'm trying to make it work with what type of this weight, worsted weight yarn that I have. I did get this from We Crochet. I'm hoping that eventually at some point in time they'll make a worsted with, they'll make this Heatherly with more color choice options, because it feels really good. It feels really good. And the Heatherly is, I have a card for that. Where is it? Okay, so the Heatherly is 80% acrylic and 20% merino wool. It feels great. And maybe I should just go back and start ordering like this color. I don't know. I don't know what the colors do. I'm just going to have to figure it out. So now that that's said and done, last week I talked about a test pattern that I was doing. And so this week I'm actually going to show it because she said we could. So, where is the bag? Okay, here we go. So, I am actually testing for a lady named Brittany Garber. And her pattern is called, let's see, she just named it. I think it was yesterday. Delique. And that's a friend of hers. It's actually a kite shawl. And as you can see, it's dark purple, dark black. This is also We Crochet's yarn. This is Hawthorne Kettle Dye in colors, let's see, Blackbird is the black, and Equinox is the purple. Now, this is actually not the first pattern I have of hers. I have several of her patterns, and in fact, this is one of her patterns right here. This one is the original KBB shawl, but as you can see, I got a little off when it came to the actual gauge. That's why I'm being very careful this time, because on the original KBB, my gauge is so off that it's actually more like an art installation than an actual scarf. But she made her original KBB using Heatherly. I didn't know that. I mean, using Hawthorne. Hawthorne is fantastic. It's a very economically priced yarn for a yarn that has merino wool in it. I think it's $11 a skein at the time of this viewing. $11 a skein. It feels really good. I think nobody will have a problem with it, especially if you want to just try just nicer wool, just nicer yarn. That's a good way to get started. Is that. So I'm in a testing process for this one, and I'm hoping to get another test from a young lady named Cozy Crochet Co. Company Co. She just put out an application for a cowl that she's making. The reason I want to be on that test pattern is that the cowl can actually be doubled as a head wrap, which I think is fantastic. And I've already actually picked yarn that I would use for that. I will be using this right here. So this was acquired at the Oxford Fiber Festival that I went to in, was it January, February, in Oxford, Mississippi. And it's from Forbidden Fibers. It's called Gemini. That's my sign, Gemini. Now, I'm not sure if there's a reason why she picked those colors to go along with it, but I do like the colors. And based on what she's going to make, if you go to Cozy Crochet Company, you will see the actual cowl, because she's been advertising just for a for testers. So we'll see. So if I get picked for that, that yarn is going for that. And other, progress report. So still working the which I found out I was saying her name wrong. I thought it was Lori. This is why we live in a world where we don't necessarily hear people's names. We just read it, and I thought it was Lori. It's actually AK Lori. So I apologize, AK Lori. And the only reason I know that is because Detroit Knots on her last podcast actually said her name. And I know she knows who she is because she does a lot of her designs. So Triangle Shawl is coming right along. We got the fade in. There's the fade in the turquoise. So we're still fading. I have not necessarily been working a lot on it, but I did want to get the fade going. That looks pretty darn good. Now, all of these patterns have quick in the name. They really are very quick patterns. If I was to just kind of work them, they probably this will probably be done by now. But I have a lot of things going on. But I did want to get that fade part done and updated so you can see how that turquoise, how amazing that turquoise looks in there. Oh, it's going to be pretty. Won't be ready for Stitch and Hustle, which I was kind of hoping it would. It may be, there's still a chance, but maybe not, because I was hoping to take it there with me. Okay, that's the side. So no update on Tessellation Tee, even though the Tessellation Tee is fantastic. Oh, see that? My Crochet All Day Button. I wear my pins in my hair. I got that from Twin Mountain Handcrafts. Pretty cute. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's super cute. Okay. So, we were very close to having an unboxing here. Very close to having an unboxing, but there was a fail. First of all, it only came in a FedEx package, so I had to open the FedEx package. And then on top of that, it was in plastic that was already broke. So it's like it would have been just a very disappointing unboxing. So I decided to go ahead and use it so I could actually try them and tell you what I think about them. Yes. Aren't they pretty? So Tunisian crochet hooks. They're absolutely beautiful, as you can see. I have actually taken out the cords that came with it. We replaced the cords that came with it with the mindful cords because they're metal and they swivel. The ones, disappointingly, that came with them do not swivel. So we are using the mindful cords with those. I think it's the 16-inch that's actually in the set right. No, actually it's the 20 and the 24 that's actually in the set right now. These are the ones that came with the kit. As you can see, they are rose gold connectors. It's kind of disappointing because the mindfuls don't have the rose gold. They actually have silver. But the color combination actually kind of works. As you can see, I did take one out because I wanted to kind of test what they actually felt like. So I'm trying a new Tunisian technique. It's called Mosaic Tunisian Crochet, which I actually love Mosaic, as you can tell by this. This is Tina. This is a blanket I made for my husband. And if you go on my Ravelry account, you can see this whole blanket actually open. But it is fantastic. It is called the Montana. Is this the Montana? Yeah, I believe this is the Montana. This thing is awesome. It took a long time, but I got it done. Okay. But this is done with Tunisian crochet. And I actually used the Sorella hook to get that done. As you can see, I'm using We Crochet's Dishy. That Dishy is amazing because eventually this is going to be a dishcloth. I love crochet dishcloths. And so I decided to kind of like test the hook by making a dishcloth because it kind of makes sense. Using the mindful cords, which I love. This is my first time actually using the mindful cords because my usual Tunisians are the clovers. The clovers are an amazing, economical Tunisian crochet set. I think I paid like $50 for these on Amazon. I love the stops. They come with swivel cords already. You don't have to upgrade to swivel cords. But I always felt like with the bamboo that I was going to break them because I'm heavy-handed. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted the metal ones. But the clovers are amazing. They're going to stay in my library, and I will continue to use them. But the metal ones I love. I love the weight of them. I love the feel of them. There is a little bit of getting used to the thumb rest here, but everything glides so smooth, which is one of the reasons why I wanted the hooks in the first place. One of the reasons that I did go ahead and get the hooks is because I actually have a set of Knitter's Pride knitting needles. I think they're called the musicals, the Melodies of Life, right? But these technically came with the same swivel hooks, except they came in a cute little bag. The same swivel hooks as these, and they were colored. So I figured I can use the swivel hooks for both these and the Tunisian hooks, which I feel like these should have came with swivel. I agree with everybody else who has had this recommendation that these should have came with swivels. They should have came with swivels. I should not have had to get swivels. But having said that, these are going with me to the Stitch and Hustle, Stitch Up Chicago, because I'm hoping there that I will sit down with some knitters and learn. So these are going to be packed up as well to go along with the Sorellas. Like I said, I love these. Whether or not they are a good buy, I think that's up to a person to decide. You know, if I was looking at these when I had children at home, I probably would not have bought them because the price is you know, prohibitive. But my children are grown, and I planned for these. So if you can plan for these, I would say get them. Um, I checked today; they are sold out again. This is the third drop, so get on the mailing list. If you get on the wait list, don't get on the mailing list. Get on the wait list. If you get on the wait list, you will get an email, and if you move, like I think they had them available for about a week, so it's not like you have to get them the same day they're available. But if you go ahead and get on the wait list, you can get them if it's something that you want to. If not, like I said, I love the clovers. The clovers are amazing. They work great. They're on at least 3 patterns because you see at least 3 hooks are missing, but I love the clovers. I have no problem with them whatsoever. So the choice is yours. But the Sorellas, I love those too. So those are going to the Stitch and Hustle. I'm taking the 3rd day advanced Tunisian class with Detroit Knots. And I read I read today that you needed 3 DK weights to take to the class. So and you needed your crochet hooks. So the Tunisian hooks are going, and I'm trying to figure out what 3 to take. Now, these are Gem Lux Fibers DK. I gotta figure out how to do that so where it reads correctly for you guys, right? So, Gem Lux Fibers DK. So I was thinking of taking 2 of these, but they're so similar. I'm not sure if they would actually work, considering I don't know what the project is that we're going to be working on, and I don't want to take a lot of yarn, extra yarn. And then I was thinking, well, maybe I can, you know, once we go to the, there's one shopping event, and maybe I can find some DK weight there, but if I don't, I want to actually be able to take something. So I got to figure out the DK situation with that, because I'm not going to actually buy yarn. So I got to figure it out, because my favorite DK is not Tunisian friendly. I am going to try them with the Sorellas. It might be a different story with the Sorellas, but with the cottons, the clovers didn't like them at all. So we have to start over with that one. Okay, so let's see. What else we got going on? Oh, so I was concerned about, because I'm actually in my mind prepping to go to the Stitch Up, and Delique was made of, I was made aware of them because of, they're made specifically for makers. And I went and looked, and that stuff is amazing. So I looked at a couple of things, and we're on the fence about getting a couple of things, but I think I'm gonna get at least one thing. They have a backpack that makes for good yarn storage. Now, I'm gonna show you my current yarn storage situation. Don't laugh. When I travel. So this is my current yarn storage situation. Sometimes when I'm just traveling with my husband in a vehicle, I have a Craftsman that I use, but you can't take that on a plane. So this was the current situation, but I feel like this is awkward to take a barrel on a plane, even though I love it. And it was actually provided by Happily Hooked magazine, which I love Happily Hooked. And I think at the time they were like $10. And they also came with these little project bags that you've been seeing. But I felt like an upgrade was at hand, so might have an unboxing. Maybe. Maybe not, I don't know. All right, let's see. So let's see, what else we got? So that's actually all we got going on in my fiber world. Let's see in my fiber world. What else is going on? Oh, I did want to show one thing. So in a future episode, I'm going to be like transplanting my aloe vera plant, but I kind of wanted to figure out how to add a picture within the video because I want to show you what it looks like now. It is a very interesting plant. I didn't realize aloe vera did this, but it's going to be very interesting for you to see. I also have to, see this? Isn't that beautiful? So I have to get this thing prepped to actually use it. I'm tempted to just use it, but I can't do that. You have to actually treat it. So I got to get that treated. But there's a lot of things going on here because there's some gardening stuff that we have to get taken care of as well. I'm hoping to show more videos of the garden because, you know, it's gardening season and I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time out there. So thank you again for everybody that stopped by, just watching my video. I especially appreciate my family liking and subscribing, but I also truly appreciate more of those people who do not know me, who just stopped by, who clicked subscribed, who liked, who commented. I really appreciate that. I didn't think I would appreciate it that much as I did. It makes me very happy, and I appreciate you. So come on back next week, and we'll have another video. Thanks for stopping by.